Everyone. It's Tuesday, Attention Training Tuesday. A quick high-level reminder of what we're doing here. Attention, the ability to manage and monitor our attention is really like solidly in the bullseye of this idea of self-directed brain plasticity. Definitely, the more we practice activating different types of attention, the easier it gets. So this idea of self-directed brain plasticity, we intentionally use our mind to repeatedly activate parts of our brain. And the more we do that, the easier it gets for us to, well, ultimately, I think the goal is to heal, grow, and thrive. And so there are these two aspects of attention. Focused attention is this spotlight. The best way I can think of describing this is it's really dark. You walk into the basement or the garage and you have a flashlight. And as you're shining the flashlight around, you get to see one thing at a time in the garage, right? Because it's completely dark and all you get to see is what the beam of the flashlight is focused on. In contrast to going into the basement with a lantern, the kind that you use for like car camping or something like that, where you get this glow, this diffuse glow that highlights everything, but not really that clearly. So you have a sense of what's around you, but nothing's really sharp. And we obviously want to be able to activate both types of attention because they're useful in different situations. So diffuse attention is great for what we would maybe call situational awareness, right? You're not focusing on any one specific thing, but you're taking in, I'm at a busy intersection and I need to cross the street and it's a four-way stop sign and cars are coming and there's a bicyclist and, there's all these things going on that you need to take in at once. So you're not focusing on one thing in particular, but you need that general awareness versus sitting down and reading a book or writing something or having a conversation with someone where you really want to be able to have that focused attention. So today I thought let's practice bouncing back and forth between these two types of attention and see if we can make that the felt sense of what it feels like to be in which mode a little more tangible. So let's start by closing our eyes and bringing attention inward. And let's start with focused attention by noticing breath. Breath, the body's always breathing, either in or out. And see if you can find a spot in between, let's say, your nostrils, your throat, your chest, your belly, where you can feel breath most prominently. Again, doesn't matter where, but just pick one of those and see if you can bring your full focused attention to just noticing the sensation of breath coming and going in that one spot. And a question I find helpful when it comes to focused attention is, how do I know that I'm breathing? So if I'm focusing on my nostrils, I can feel cool air entering my nostrils, then warm air leaving the nostrils. I'm just focusing on nostrils and the sensation there. And of course, you can do the same with your throat or your chest or your belly. It doesn't matter. And see if you can maintain that focus and that concentration on that particular part of the body that's interacting with breath. And this kind of focused attention is very simple, but it's surprisingly difficult to maintain concentration because our mind has this tendency to want to jump around and get distracted by other things. And so, whenever you notice the mind leaving that focused attention, again, just noticing that and just bring your attention back to feeling and noticing breath in that specific part of the body. And now notice how, as you're focusing on this specific part of the body and its interaction with breath, it comes at the exclusion of, let's say, sounds. There are all kinds of sounds happening around us that, so long as we're really focused on breath, we're not noticing the sounds. So see if you can open the aperture of your attention to notice breath and sounds. And notice how you can't, in order to take them both in at the same time, you can't really focus on one at the exclusion of the other. It's what diffuse attention is all about. And then see if you can layer in the sensation of the body sitting in the chair while you're noticing breath, while you're noticing sounds around you. And let's layer in sight. So even with our eyes closed, you can see lights and movement behind your eyelids. And see if you can notice that along with sound, along with breath, along with the body sitting. And this is diffuse attention. We're sort of taking all of it in at the same time. More of a felt sense of all of it happening. And this is diffuse attention. Now let's close the aperture a little tighter and just go to sight. So just noticing, letting go of sound, letting go of breath, and just focus on what you see behind your eyelids, colors, the movement of your eyes, shapes. Concentrate on that for a moment. This is focused attention. If the mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently bring it back to the experience of seeing. Now relaxing focus and making it more diffuse by layering in sensation of the body sitting and sight and sounds. Taking all of it in at the same time. At first, you might notice that what's happening is when we try diffuse attention, really our attention is bouncing back and forth between now I'm listening, now I'm feeling my body, now I'm noticing breath, now I'm noticing sight. It kind of dances around until we can really relax into just taking it all in at the same time. Like these are two different kinds of sets of muscles or attentional muscles that we're flexing. And the goal is really just to be able to deliberately choose which kind of attention we're activating. Sound, sight, breathing. And now to close, let's focus our full attention on a couple cycles of breath. So taking a deep inhale through the nose, long, slow exhale through the mouth, staying focused on the sensation of breath leaving the body, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Going back to the session. Um, yeah, and even now, notice as you open your eyes, you can still hear and still sense the body breathing. And so there's sort of an ability to notice things in a diffuse manner, while at the same time being able to focus on something specific of our choosing. So I hope that's helpful. I think it's a really good skill to be able to intentionally to maneuver as we go through our day. Hope that was helpful. Take care, everyone.